Hello YouTube, it's John. It's been a long time since I posted anything. There really wasn't much to post because I just had these two clownfish and that goby in quarantine for 30 days. So there wasn't a lot going on. I didn't feel like just, hearing myself talk for nothing. But I mean, there are a few things that have changed. Number one, you can see that I have got some crazy algae build up on the intake of my filter, coming out of the ramp down out of the filter, and on my wave pump. So I guess it's kind of like my own little algae turf scrubber. I don't know. Haven't cleaned it off yet. That shot of bubbles there came out of my sumpless ATO, and I actually had a question about that, so that's good timing. About if this happened all the time. No, it doesn't. Sometimes it happens when the water kicks in. It pushes some air bubbles in and it just spits them right out. If you've seen my video, it's been my most watched video, is on my sumpless ATO. I love this thing. Yes, it has algae on it. No, I haven't cleaned it in a while. I've never even pulled it out and taken it apart, which I may do here soon, just to check the media block and make sure everything's going okay. But this thing's been wonderful. My parameters in a 20-gallon hardly ever change. I tested alkalinity today with my new HANA tester, 8.2. The salinity is always spot on. It makes it easy to have a smaller tank, because what they always tell you is, oh, if you have a small tank, it's everything's going to crash immediately. And yeah, I had a tank crash, but it was because of Brook. It had nothing to do with my water chemistry, my parameters. There's no ammonia spikes, nitrite. Everything runs pretty smooth. So just a quick little rundown. Of course, I got my two clowns. That's Nemo and Shelly. And then I've got old Grandpa here in the back, this sand sifting goby. This guy is so cool. I mean, as soon as we put him in here from quarantine, hey, how's it going? He made himself a cave, and he's doing his thing, just sifting sand and loving life. And he's only been in here a day, so he set up shop right away, didn't waste any time. I've got some assorted hermits that you can see doing their job, and my green bubble tip anemone. Now this guy had a pretty cool journey. When I put him in, I got him from Petco in Northeast Ohio, where I live. And when I first put him in the tank, I put him over here on this ledge, thinking, okay, there's the wave maker up there. I figured they like high light, high flow, right? Well, this guy does not. As soon as he could, he climbed up over the back and did a swan dive into the sand bed behind there. And then he was kind of walking around, and I just thought, well, maybe he needs a little help. So I picked him up and I put him on this rock down here on the bottom. I thought, well, maybe he doesn't like a whole lot of light. Well, he got off of that rock, went on the sand, climbed up on this one behind the GSP, and it started walking towards the GSP. And I thought, well, I don't want my GSP to get stung up. So, of course, I helped him out, picked him up, and I put him back up here on this ledge up on the top here where that hermit's at. Put him up there thinking, well, maybe now he'll like it. Well, he sat there for a minute, and then after about a day, he just did like a Rey Mysterio dive off the top rope and landed right down in here on this crevice. And he did an elbow drop on that little mushroom in the back there, if you can see that. That was a little mushroom on this little branching rock here that my friend gave me from his tank when I set this up. And then he promptly attached to the back of this rock, and he's been there ever since. It's been about a week or week and a half. So he appears pretty happy. I don't know, maybe this is his spot. So it's not high flow. It's not as high of light, so maybe he just doesn't need that much. But what I'm really stoked about is it's right in the middle, front and center. Now, these two clownfish were captive bred, and they haven't even looked twice at this thing. I'm really hoping that at some point they start hosting on him. And I know he's small, he's got to get bigger, ultimately, to be appealing that way. So I'm just hoping that things work out there. And that I really have always wanted to get into this hobby because a friend of mine down the street from me growing up had an anemone and clownfish pairing like in the 80s. And I was just a little kid, and I just turned 41 on the 18th. So, it's been a while. So he was kind of a pioneer in this hobby, and I remember seeing the clownfish in the anemone, and I thought that was fascinating. So I want to duplicate that at some point. So, hopefully this thing will get bigger. The clowns will start hosting on it. I don't know. We'll see. And then I still have my tiny little zoophragms here. These are Rastas, so I'm hoping they grow out and do well. They are open, but they're not really big yet, so I'm hoping they get a little bigger. And then of course my GSP. So not a whole lot of coral, but I'm just getting started, and I've committed to keeping this 20-gallon for 1 year. So that will be December 21st. Now I do have one more fish in quarantine. I didn't want to throw everything in at once. So if we go over here to my 10-gallon quarantine, I've got a Royal Grandma back there in the corner. Now he was a social distancing champion when I first got him, which was on the 18th. It was a little birthday present. He would hide behind the PVC and didn't want to show his face, but it didn't take too long, a couple days, and he's not afraid of me anymore. In fact, he gets excited when he sees me because he thinks he's going to get food. So, 30 days on this guy. The copper level that I'm using got up to where I want it to today. So around July 19th or July 20th, he will exit the 10-gallon quarantine. I'll break it down, and he'll go in the display tank with these guys. So looking forward to it. I will do some more videos. I am going to pick a product to work on, maybe some beneficial bacteria and getting my coralline algae up. So either Purple Up or Fritz. So if you have any suggestions, let me know if you've ever used a product like that. And that'll be my next video on what I choose, and maybe I'll show my face. We'll see about that. I don't know if the world can handle that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my update. And again, everybody that makes content, I really appreciate it. I learn a lot from you, and hope everything's going well. See you guys later.